The word dharma is used in Gita in different contexts. Dharati iti dharma, that which upholds everything. And that is the reason why Bhagavad-Gita starts with the word dharma. Dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveda yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvada sanjaya. This dharmakshetra yatra yasmin kshetre dharmam eva asti tat dharmakshetra. धर्म का जो पालन होता है जिस जहां में, उस जहां को, उस देश को, उस क्षेत्र को धर्म क्षेत्र कहते हैं. Where the dharma is maintained, followed. In the Hindu dharma or Hindu tradition, or what we call Sanatana dharma, there is no rule of the king. It is only rule of Bhagavan. If the king does not follow the rule of the Lord, then he is not fit to be a king. And what is the source of the rule of God? Shastra. Scriptures dictate, or not dictate, guide how to take care of our life. And again, Shastra is not in the form of do's and don'ts, in the form of what is right and wrong. Uska farak hai. Thou shall not kill. It's a rule. Killing is bad. That is advice. Love thy neighbor. Which neighbor? Which one of that? Love thy neighbor is a rule. Loving your neighbor is loving God. We advise. So when the human beings are not considered as unintelligent ones who will just have to follow like a sheep, then it is not taking into consideration the human mind, human maturity and thinking. A thinking individual must be guided, not instructed. At home also, home rules. You may put a whole list of it. If you don't follow, you'll be punished. That kind of a rule doesn't work in a home. So at home, the thing that is followed is loving advice, guidance. So here also Bhagavan says the entire creation follows the rule of the Lord. Here the rule again, guidance. Guidance comes from Shastra. And that Shastra Vihita Karma is called, Dharma is called Sanatana Dharma. So here, when the very text begins with, or the conversation begins with, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveda, Yuyutsavaha, Ityadi. Interesting, the last part, when we see, the Dharma word is what is used. Sarva Dharman Parityachya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So, at the end, what does the Bhagavan say? Leave all dharmas. Because the highest of the dharma is bhakti dharma. So, if you have devotion to God, all dharmas are in place. The highest dharma being devotion to God. If one has a devotion to God, will he transgress? But Bhagavan has said, when we lack devotion to the Lord, we have to be instructed about do's and don'ts. What should I do to someone whom I love? It's not instruction thereafter. Because I consider that person or consider that thing as very dear to me, I won't do any wrong. When do we do wrong? When we become selfish. When we become selfish, we naturally become wrong. Because for the sake of fulfilling our selfish needs, we can go to any extent to get what we want. And in the process, if we have to commit a sin also, we won't mind that. Whereas a person who is in love with a person or with a being or with anything cannot do wrong to that person or a thing. Similarly, Bhagavan and his creation, I cannot do wrong. If we can have that kind of an understanding about the Lord. Can I do anything wrong to my body? Can I do? Even when I smoke, not I, but when I smoke, I know that I'm doing wrong to the body, but I consider that it is okay because I want to have pleasure. But the moment I know that it is going to kill me, I stop it. So when I really love a thing, I cannot do wrong. When I really love God, I cannot do wrong because his creation is nothing but he himself. How can I do wrong? So understand Bhakti Dharma. That's why he says Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. That is the highest Dharma. And if at all any papa associated with whatever you've done in the past, Sarva Papebhyaha Mokshayishyami. I will take care of all the sins that you have done. Mashucha. Don't worry about that. So, Bhagavad-Gita begins with Dharma. And finally ends in giving up all Dharma. Because Bhagavata Dharma becomes highest. All right. Now we'll understand first what is Arjuna's understanding of Dharma. Because the Dharma word may be understood or misunderstood also. Arjuna's definition of Dharma is different. That's where he makes the mistake. When the terminology is mistaken, then the whole thing that is built upon it also mistaken. When the structural plan is wrong, how can you build a correct structure? The plan itself, the very, what do you call that, foundation itself is wrong. So, Arjuna's foundation about Dharma is wrong. What does he say? His definition of Dharma is tradition. What is followed for a long time. It may be right, it may not be right. But his idea is blindly follow what is being told to you. And therefore, he says in the chapter, first chapter itself, Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo abhibhavatyuta. His idea is what? That I should just follow blindly what has been handed down to me, and when I kill all these people, all my own people, Kula Kshaya will take place. Kula Kshaya means what? My family will get ruined. Kula Kshaye pranashyanti Kula Dharma. Kula Dharma means what? Whatever has been followed by family. That is my Dharma. Dharme nashte kulam krishnam. And when that following tradition is destroyed, then only adharma will prevail. So his understanding of Dharma is following certain do's and don'ts. Not the highest one. Not in the form of good and bad. Do's and don'ts. This should be very clear. Huh? When you're a small child, you say do's and don'ts. When the child is grown up, do's and don'ts won't work. Don't do. Why? Do it. Why? Everything is why only. Huh? They think by asking why they become wise. It's not true. So you have to give reasoning for me. Why should I do it? And why should I not do it? So there you have to say, if you do this is not good for you. If you do this, it's bad for you, etc. Then only that. Oh, okay. Now I understand. So do's and don'ts are for the unintelligent only. Blindly follow. See, when I was growing up, I'm sure many of you also, parents have said certain things. You have to do this. You have to go to the temple and do this pradakshina, and you have to do this kind of arati. You have to chant these prayers and this and that. We followed it all right. But at some point of time in my mind, why? That question came and my parents could not answer. No, that is what is to be done. Why? Until Gurudev came into the picture and explained the whole thing. Then it became very clear to me, oh, this is the reason. When the reasoning, understanding takes place, nobody needs to tell you anymore. When my father used to do daily puja, and when I was very young, I used to sit with him. And as usual, all the teenagers, when you grow up, and he was also very understandable, but he never said anything to me. So, and then after I graduated and came to Bangalore and work and all those things, then I joined the Chinmaya Mission Yoga Kendra and learned Purusha Suktam, all the Suktams. Over a period of 1 year or two, I learned all the Suktams and the puja mantras also. When I went back to my parents' house, when he was sitting doing the puja, I sat down with him. He looked at me. Oh, what happened to you now? Yeah. And when you were chanting, I was chanting with, what's wrong? I said, now I know why you're doing it. Earlier, I was sitting there reluctantly, not knowing. Some ritual is going on. I didn't connect myself. And later on, when I clearly understood what it is, then I sat down with him. He was so surprised. So then it is about good and bad. What is good in that? When it is understood, nobody needs to force me thereafter. So here, Arjuna, he blindly was following. What? Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo abhibhavatyuta. Then adharma abhibhavat Krishna. Then when adharma prevails, what is the next one that will happen? He is giving the cause and effect list. How the cascading effect of this. When adharma prevails in this, pradushyanti kulastriyaha. The women of the family would not follow any rule, any tradition. Because women are considered in the Hindu society are those who keep the family dharma intact. That's why we consider as Griha Lakshmi. Griha Lakshmi means Griha likes me. Lakshmi means one who is maintaining the traditional, values of the family. And so when the adharma is there, then family values will go away. Women of the family will go astray. Then strishu nashtas, strishu dushtas varshneya. When the women of the house are not anymore having any values, then jayate varna sankaraha. The whole society will become totally mixed up. Nobody would follow anything. Women of the community who maintain certain orderliness, discipline, values, if they are not doing it, mothers are not doing it, then the children will do it then. The whole society will perish and I will be the cause for it. Why? By killing my people. So this understanding of dharma is what? Follow do's and don'ts. Follow the tradition blindly, without any reasoning behind this. Now, Krishna, having heard Arjuna, he has a wrong understanding of the word dharma. Now, I have to bring him back to the right understanding. So he brings a new definition of dharma. He says, your duty is dharma. He starts from there. Your duty is dharma. Let us understand this. Irrespective of what you have been following so far, now you know, according to your swabhava, you being a kshatriya, to take care of kshatriya responsibilities is your dharma. It is different from what he was thinking. He was thinking about traditionally doing whatever has been told to them. No, let us shift the attention. Your dharma is what is dictated by your swabhava. And you are a born kshatriya. Because being a kshatriya, doing your work is the dharma. Not what have been told to you by others. Remember your own, recognize your own swabhava. So he says, Swadharmamabhita veksha na vikampitum arhasi. Looking at your own swadharma, kshatriya dharma, there is no question of you wavering in your mind. So there is a contradiction between what Arjuna was thinking and what Bhagavan is now instructing. Arjuna says killing is bad. Krishna says killing is right. Why? Because you are a kshatriya, and from your standpoint, as being a kshatriya, killing is not for a personal gain. If you think killing is a personal gain, and that is what you have understood as, that is wrong. If a police officer carrying gun is dharma, or a criminal carrying the gun, it is adharma. Carrying the gun is the same, but who is doing it? So, swadharmam apicha avekshya, considering your own swadharma, na vikampitum arhasi, you should not have any doubt in your mind. Dharmyati yuddhat shreyoha anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. When you have an opportunity to do the right thing in this place, that's the greatest opportunity of God. Dharmyati yuddhat. This opportunity to prove what is right to the world, shreyaha, greater than that which is more beneficial, na anyat kshatriyate vishite. For a kshatriya, there is no other opportunity. See, if I am a surgeon, not surgeon, not all surgeons are surgeons. So I am a surgeon, and I see a patient who needs to be treated, and I have the skill to do that. I have not the skill. I have the skill to do that. So what do I should do then? I know what to do, and here is a patient who needs that thing. Is it not true that such a doctor will take that opportunity to prove his skill and make sure that fellow is recovered from that? And will he not be delighted to do that, even if he's not paid? Now his knowledge is challenged. When his knowledge is challenged and he knows that how to solve this problem, when he goes and removes that unnecessary growth or whatever it is, and then relieves that patient out of the pain, and when he is coming out healthy, how delightful that doctor would become, surgeon would become. Because I really used my skill and made sure that a life is protected. In the same way, a kshatriya has got an opportunity to prove through his work or through his fight what is right in this country has been established. Why should you lose this opportunity? So, what is dharma now? not traditionally blindly following whatever others have said. Doing your duty is the dharma. The definition is changed. And he says, Adachetva dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. If you are not using this opportunity that has come to you to prove your duty as a dharma, or you are a kshatriya, then what happens? Tada swadharmam kirtim cha hatva papam avapsyasi. Hitva papam avapsyasi. Then you, not only that, you not doing this duty will result in something wrong, but you yourself destroy your own name. Swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. You will incur sin by not doing it. So, not doing what you are supposed to do is also a sin in this context. जो आपको करना है आप नहीं करते हैं, that is sin. So you are not performing your duty as a kshatriya itself is a crime. And a police officer having the gun and seeing the criminal running and he was watching, chalo, chalo jao. Then he's a part of the crime. He can be punished. If he, as a protector of the law, if he allows the criminal to run, escape, then what is it called? In the same way, you knowing well what you need to do and not doing it, do you think, consider that as right? It's a criminal act. Adachetva mimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. So, definition of dharma changed from mere traditional idea or traditional following of certain do's and don'ts to being a person who is conscious of his role in the society and fulfilling that duty is dharma. Now, having said this, Krishna says, you may wonder, what is my role here? What is my role as a Krishna, as an avatar of Vishnu? What is my role here? This is very clearly, he himself says, sadhunam paritranaya. Paritranaya sadhunam. Vinashaya sudashkritam. Dharma samstapanataya sambhavami yoge. Now, Bhagavan's dharma is dharma samstapanam. Whenever there is people forgetting that dharma, reminding them is my duty. I may not do it myself, but reminding them. That is my duty. That is Bhagavan's dharma is whenever there is a decline of the dharma, people are not doing what they are supposed to do. See, like look at a judge. What is the role of a judge in any criminal court or any court for that matter? Does he do any action?
No.
What action he does? Making sure the wrong people are punished, by which he establishes the right judgment or right thing to be happening in this society. His action is not taking a gun and shooting the criminal. But sadhunam paritranaya. Those who are doing the right thing, protect them. Those who are doing the wrong thing, order punishment. That's all he does. Just sitting in the chair of a judge, he's expected to do that. Not like Kshatriya, take the gun, or the police officer take the gun and shoot. That's not his role. In the same way, Bhagavan says that my role is to make sure that people who are trying to do the right thing are protected. And those who are not doing the right thing are punished. By which people start to have faith in Dharma. When nobody cares about it, such a country or such a community will become in total chaos. Is it not true? When nobody bothers about judgment, nobody bothers about good and bad, then what happens? So, Bhagavan's dharma or incarnation of Bhagavan is to dharma samsthapanam. Now, next one is, Bhagavan says, in this world, nobody does anything without a desire to get something out of it. Nobody does anything without expecting some particular result out of it. Whenever people have the right kind of a desire, I am with them. Dharma aviruddho bhudeshu kamaha asmi. Because in the four purusharthas, four human goals, dharma is followed by kama, artha and kama. Dharmad arthascha kamascha. If you are able to earn your living by doing the right thing, that earning is correct. And with that earning that you got out of right way of earning, enjoying that is correct. Nobody says you should not enjoy at all. It is a wrong perception that Hinduism is all about renunciation. No, it is not so. Buddhism is like that, but not Hinduism. Do the right thing, earn the right way, enjoy the right way. Dharma, Artha, Kama is established as the three human goals. There's nothing wrong in, therefore, earning in the right way and spending the money for enjoyment of life. Until you come to the point of moksha. Once moksha kami bhavet chet, if you become a person who seeks liberation, then you realize artha and kama must be removed, dharma directly going to the moksha. Then dharma is only for moksha, not for artha or kama, not for wealth and enjoyment. Because even those Mahatmas who are seeking for liberation, they are also subject to follow dharma. They cannot transgress that. मुझे अर्थ नहीं चाहिए, काम नहीं चाहिए, so धर्म को छोड़ रहा हूं. No. Then dharma is meant for moksha. Now, let me give an example. Let us say you are taking a train from here to San Diego. This is a train, right? Okay, from here to this is a train. LA to San Diego. So many passengers are there going every day from wherever they are getting in and then back. So all of them have a desire to go where? San Diego. Right? Whoever gets in there. What is the desire of the driver there? He has no interest to go to San Diego. His role is what? Take people to San Diego and get back to home. So even though they are both are traveling in the same train, the passengers have a desire to reach a destination. For a driver, that is not a destination. It's a work. Correct or not? Yes. So why should he do that? Why should he do that? He helps others to reach there. In the same way, Mahatmas live in this world not for their personal gains. It is making sure that others are safely reaching to their goals. So Mahatmas live in Dharma to make sure the people in the world know the value of Dharma for getting what they want. But if in case there is a person who is seeking moksha, to such a person, to the Guru will become different. Different kinds of people reach a spiritual Guru. Not all of them are moksharthis. Correct or not? If you go to a temple, do you think all of them are moksha from the Lord? Most of them are only moksha only. Bhogne ke liye ja rahe hain, na mukti ke liye ja rahe hain. Bhagavan keeps smiling. Okay, what do you want now? ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ये चाहिए. अच्छा ठीक है, ले लो. That's why he said Chaturvida bhajan dema, right? Artha jiknyasu artharthi. The people come. Rare one will come who wants nothing, moksharti or jnani. Oh, where is the rare one? This one is not wanting anything. Then why did he come here? He came here to become me, to become one with me. So far, that particular devotee who doesn't seek anything is also coming to me. For him, my treatment is different. It is like in a doctor's home, or sorry, doctor's home. In a doctor's clinic, there are patients also, there are assistant doctors also. For the patient, the medicine. For a doctor, it's a training. Right? He's not a sick man, he's not a patient there. Patients come into the same hospital or a clinic, but there are others who are trained to become doctors. To them, he's not going to go with medicine. No, I'll tell you how to do this. In the same way, Bhagavan exclusively puts one for a person who is a moksharti, for him the dharma is different. He is not for artha and kama. It is not for wealth and money. Wealth and happiness. For him, the dharma is for moksha. So here, Bhagavan says, for a person who is a moksharti, the dharma is only to perform anything and everything for chitta shuddhi. Now, again, definition changes slowly now. So, first definition is what? Traditionally follow everything. That's what Arjuna thought. Bhagavan said, no, your duty, your dharma is do your duty. Swabhavaniyatam karma kuru. That is your duty. Secondly, he said, my duty is, my dharma is to establish and prove dharma prevails. Yatra dharma, tatra vijayaha. Where dharma is, there is victory. I have to prove this to the world again and again, otherwise they lose interest. Then he says, dharma is even though meant for artha and kama, no doubt about it. That is the way the world should function. But when a person becomes na artharti, na kamarti, parantu moksharti chet, if he is a person who is seeking liberation, dharma chitta shuddhyartham. Dharma is meant for purity of mind, irrespective of what you do. Whichever way, you may Brahmana, maybe you are Kshatriya, maybe you are Vaishya, maybe Shudra, whatever be your line of work, forget about what you are doing. Do it for chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. So in this context only he said, Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate bahato bhayat. Hey Arjun, now understand dharma here. Iha abhikramanashaha na asti. In this karma yoga, which is the dharma for chitta shuddhi, there is no loss of effort. When a person is performing any action, if he or she is not doing the correct way, the effort is waste. If I don't do the right way, my effort is waste. It's not going to give me a result. Here Bhagavan Krishna says, in this context of chitta shuddhi, any effort you put, there is no waste. Why? Because the result is not outside you. You decide the result. You decide the result, not anything else. See, if I am doing anything in the world, my result is depending upon outside things. For example, if she is cooking the food, not only she is putting her skills all right, but it depends upon the ingredients used. If he is not getting the right ingredient, so the food will not taste correct. Or everybody will have stomach ache. The possibilities are there. So, or while cooking, something went wrong. So when you are doing an action, the result of that action not necessarily decided by you. There are many factors involved, external factors. Any action for that matter. But if her attitude is, मैं भगवान के लिए कर रहा हूं, let anything happen. Not that if she will do that, but ऐसे मैं भगवान के लिए मन में भगवान रख के मैं कर रहा हूं, भगवत ध्यान से मैं कर रहा हूं, भगवान जपा करके मैं कर रहा हूं. So even mind is in contemplation of the Lord, then any action you take, the contemplation, the mind being that which is connected to the Lord, the result of which is the purity of mind, is not decided by anything outside. When they take a medicine, that medicine has side effects. That is called pratyavaya. Whereas abhikramanasha means loss of effort. So there is no loss of effort in this dharma of performing action for purity of mind, and there is no error in performance because it doesn't give wrong results. The third one is that even if you do a little, you become better. You don't need to put too much of effort. Solpam abhyasya dharmasya. Even if you do a little, trayate mahato bhayat, you will become free of fear of what will happen to my next life. In this life, I am better because I am going to satsang, satsang and all. But what will happen in my next life? Will I be able to continue? Don't worry. If you have started the journey, you will not go back. Name bhakta pranashyati. Please, Arjuna, go and declare to the world, no devotee of mine will ever perish. So if you have started the journey, you will not be going back. You will be going forward only. So therefore, there's no question of you becoming afraid. See, what happens is when we earn money and then put in the security on deposit and then so many bonds, etc. And then at some point of time when we are leaving, क्या होगा इतना कष्ट से मैंने खर्च किया, I mean what do you call इकट्ठा किया. I don't know, my son, he doesn't look like any useful one. So how will he spend this money? And he will waste all the money. See? And suddenly he will realize, I should have spent the money. Why should I give it? So I put so much of effort to conserve. Finally, I don't know what he's going to do with this. You will regret finally. Here there is no regret. Any effort you put, you are moving forward. So, here, abhikramanashaha, there is no loss of result because it not depend upon outside. Pratyavayaha, there is no error. Even if there are, there is no side effect in this. Like a medicine you take, there is a side effect if you don't take it rightly. One doctor said that every day after the food, you take this pill for 10 days. So therefore, why 10 days? Take a whole thing. One day itself will finish all the 10. Because it will have immediate effect. No. Yes, immediate effect. You will not come back. That's all it is. You cannot take it that way. But here, there is no waste of effort. There's no side effect. Even if you do little, you will definitely become better than before. There is no question of going back. So now the definition of dharma is what? Chitta shuddhyartam dharma. Next he moves on to, after chitta shuddhi or purity of mind is taking place, next dharma is acquiring knowledge is a dharma. Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram, Idamuttamam, Pratyakshaavagamam, Dharmyam. Ye dharma. Rajavidya, learning this highest royal secret knowledge is dharma. Ye karna hi hoga. But it is not given to a person who is not even ready for moksha. You cannot go onto the street, tell the person, and you aapko Rajavidya. Kya Rajavidya? He has no interest in that. So that's what he says. For artha and kama, dharma is used. But for moksha, jnana. That learning that knowledge is a dharma for moksha. You have to learn this, otherwise you cannot proceed further. Definition of dharma again changed. What? Etat rajavidya, esha rajavidya dharmyam bhavati. This knowledge of highest nature is a dharma. Susukam kartum avyayam. This is easy to follow because this knowledge is not about anything else outside. To know yourself only. To know anything outside, you have to pay attention on that thing, and which is constantly changing. To know about yourself is the most easiest because aparokshena jnatum shakyate. It is something which does not even need any other external media. There's no external means to know it. It is so internal. So that's why pratyaksha avagamam. Avagamam can be known what? Pratyakshena. With your own being, directly you can see it. Therefore, susukam. It's easy. So, dharma of learning this knowledge, Rajavidya, is a dharma. Then comes the final cap, he puts bhakti dharma. That bhakti also a dharma only. Where does he say? Edu dharmyamritam idam yatoktam paryupasate shraddadana mat paramaha bhaktastetiva me priyaha. In 12th chapter, he says, Edu dharmya amritam idam. In chapter 12, where he explains about bhakti, this is amritam dharma. The nectar of dharma is this. What? Being loved by me is the greatest dharma. Edu dharmya amritam idam yata uktam paryupasate. The way I have explained to you how to worship me, when you do that, Shraddadana matparamaha, with so much of faith and love for me, such a devotee is so dear to me. That is called Bhakti Dharma. How many dharmas are over now? Arjuna's definition is one. Bhagavan's starting point is duty is a dharma. Then he said next one was, my dharma is to establish the faith in dharma. Then he started to go on for a moksharti, chitta shuddhi is a dharma. Then he says, jnanam is a dharma. Then he says, no, bhakti is a dharma. Mm-hmm. So the bhakti as a dharma, again, Bhagavan Krishna explains this towards the end. That is 18th chapter, he brings that point again. The people who are tamasic by nature, they do not understand the difference between dharma and adharma clearly. Adharmam dharmamidiya manyate tamasavritaha sarvartan vivaridanscha. Everything they understand ulta. That is called tamasic attitude. Whereas rajasic person, he knows what is dharma, he knows what is adharma, but he cannot follow it. He says, yada dharmam adharmam cha karyam akaryam evacha ayatavat prajanati, not as it is. Buddhisa partha rajasi. Why he does that? Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharayate Arjuna. Because his dharma is used only for artha and kama. When dharma is used only for artha and kama, it is rajasic. Because he wants to get out something out of it. Whereas in the case of a sattvic person, it is pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham taya vethi buddhisa partha sattviki. He clearly distinguishes what to be done, what not to be done, what is correct and what is not correct, how to engage and not to engage. These things are very clear. That is sattvic. This way, the topic of dharma is explained by Bhagavad-Gita. That's why we call her Dharmyaayai Namah. Now, next one is Sulabhaayai Namah. Sulabha means Easy. So, what is the most easy for us? While sitting in the satsang, to sleep is easy. To give up what we don't like is very easy. Right? So, some people say, Swamiji, I had a discussion with somebody. Swamiji, some of the people are saying Bal Vihar on Sunday morning is very hard because children have basketball, that and this. So, to come is very difficult. We want to come. But because what to do, children have got this kind of games, etc. That's why you cannot come. Okay, I said, right. So you are right. You are correct that on a Sunday morning you have basketball and many other games. Therefore, you cannot come. We are going to have a Saturday morning, so you come. Actually, the excuse is what? Basketball. No basketball. Saturday morning you come. That means if you don't have interest, don't give me excuses. So we always take the shortcut for everything. So Sulabha here means what? Anything that is quick and easy, like Maggie. Many of the kids are asking, you can cook? Yes, what? Pasta. He's been cooking, yeah. Put everything in the hot water and they're done. My child cooks very well, Swamiji. Is it so what? Maggie. I can do that. You don't need an expert in that. So, what is Sulabha? Usual definition is what is easy, quickly to be done. But when you become trained in a particular skill, then to achieve a thing out of that is Sulabha. In the beginning, definitely everything is very difficult only. No thing is easy to learn unless you put an effort. So the learning curve starts like this. As you have started to become skillful in that, then suddenly it becomes so easy to do it. Right? प्रयत्न होना ही चाहिए पहले. Once prayatna has reached a certain point, then that becomes easy. So many people find that sitting for meditation is very difficult. Why? Attempting nahi kiya, then how will it become possible? Chanting is very hard, Swamiji. Have you tried? Without trying anything, how will you then say that it's harder? I mean, when somebody does that on the stage, wow, so easy it looks like. When especially when they are playing instruments, etc. Oh, it's so. One of the great singers, when he visited, I asked him this question because he effortlessly sings, without even looking any paper. Effortlessly was going about. Others are looking at the paper and reading it, and he comes with the mic and starts. I asked him this question: how? 10 to 12 hours every day practice. But even now, after so many years of singing, also 10 to 12 hours of practice. What you see on the stage may look easy to you, but how much effort I have put that you don't see it. It looks easy on the stage, but behind the stage is really, really working hard on that. But if you are not trained on the backstage or ever on the stage, you are really, you will be sweating all over the place because you don't know what to do there. Bhagavan says, to reach me is the easiest. Most easiest is to reach me. But it's not a magic because he says, Yam yam vabi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalayabaram tam tamevedi kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whoever it be, the person who thinks about a particular thing repeatedly in his mind, when he leaves the body, he will become that. So, how does a person finally reach his destination, moksha or liberation or Bhagavad Prapti? Not by magic, continuous thinking. Yam yam vapi smaran. Constantly thinking about yam yam, not yam yam, sorry. M&M. Here M&M is whichever. Smaran, thinking, bhavam, with the thought. Tyajati, leaves, ante, at the end of the life. Kalevaram, the body. Tam tameva, he kaunteya. That alone and that alone, yati. He goes there. So, in some places, people say, last minute you think about God, you reach there. Last minute, first of all, we do not know which is the last minute. And secondly, what you have never thought, how will you think at that point? If Mahatma Gandhi could say Ram, hey Ram, at that time when he was shot, he could say Ram because he has been thinking about Ram only. If it had been you or me, who killed me? Who shot me? That will be our last thought. Not Ram. How can the Rama word will come out of him at that point of dying? Because he was keeping his mind on Bhagavan all the time. So when he was shot also, he had absolutely no question. Finished. I'm coming to you only because I've been thinking about it. So whatever be the thought that with which a person lives, Ananyacheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha. With his mind not deviating about anything else. Ananyacheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashaha tasya aham sulabhaha. Such a person I'm easy to get. Nitya yuktasya yoginaha. One who is always with me in mind. उसको हम सुलभ में मिलते हैं. I will be available to him very easily. So now you see that easy, it looks like easy, right? But what is the prerequisite? Ananya chetas. Undeviated attention on that. Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityashaha tasya ham sulabhapat. To him it is easy. Once in a while. Especially during Shivaratri, that our priest there, no? He says, oh, no, all of you get up and start do namaskar. 13 times or something. You should see the way people. Why? Because they never done during the entire 1 year between last Shivaratri to this Shivaratri. Never bent their body ever. For second, this I think 13 times you have to do or something like that. Not 8. All more than 8. And he actually makes it more every time. You should see people. Easiest way to stand there, sit there, do this only. You have to get up and fall at the Bhagavan's feet, and then get up and fall at the feet. And you should say, I was watching some people. Why you can't do it? Because I never did it. When did it become easy? Then every day you do it. Every day you do Surya Namaskar, then you have no problem at the time when you're supposed to do it 12 times. It was easy. That is one time everybody will, this is I have to do, is it? So, Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha Tasya Aham Sulabha. To him, such a person who is having mind undeviated, such a person I am easy to get because Sada, all the time, Pata Nitya Yuktasya Yogina. How this Ananya Chetas, or not thinking about anything, but thinking about the Lord exclusively, can happen? He himself gives the answer. Abhyasa yogena, yoga yuktena, chetasa na anyagamina. Paramam purusham divyam yadi partha anuchintayan. So this Ananya Chetas, meaning not thinking about anything else, is an abhyas. It's a practice. So, at the seat of meditation, today also I was telling you that when I said the seat of meditation many times, one person came to me and said, "What is the Sita meditation?" And what about Rama meditation? It is not Sita meditation. At the seat of meditation. So, at the seat of meditation, the abhyas, whenever the mind is going away, bring it back. That is called abhyasa yoga. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa na anyagamina. The mind is not allowed to go anywhere. Bring it back. And paramam purusham divyam partha, for such a person, yati anuchintayan. To that a person who has mind undeviated. It is like you take a child to a shopping mall, saying that you come without crying, I'll give you ice cream. Do you think that is the mind of the child will be anywhere else? Ananya Cheta. Anywhere. Where is ice cream? Where is this ice cream? You take it to the mall, eyes will be looking for what? What is it name? Cold stuff. Cold stone. Cold stone, cold stone, cold stone, cold stone. Cold stone. The mind becomes riveted there. Anywhere it goes, it keeps eye on that. That is called Ananya Cheta Sadadam. Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena. Chetasa Ananyagamina. Mind doesn't go anywhere else. Or you go to the airport, look for the green round symbol. And the smell also you will go. And they strategically place that also, right in the corner of the things so that many people come. And you see a long queue. It's too much. So then you go to another terminal to make sure that particularly, because in every terminal, definitely 2, 3 of them will be there. Because that is called Ananya Chetas. Mind looking for that and that alone. So we have many examples like that. Many best example is when you are waiting for your luggage. Ananya Chetas. Where is my thing coming? Not that one. Not that. Looks like that one, but not that. So mind is riveted on your identification with that luggage of yours. And some of them look alike. There's a problem then. When you look closely, is there my name is there? Open that. No, it's not. So Bhagavan or Bhagavan hi chahiye. That is called Purushasya Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyast Ananvaya. Again he said, so many places he brings this point. Ananyaya Bhaktya. Purushasya Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyah tu Ananyaya. Yasyantastani Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam. By whom the entire world has been pervaded, that very Bhagavan is available to you easily because he's not somewhere else. If it is inaccessible somewhere, then I have to worry about that. Where is he? He says, and in everything. You are not able to see because of lack of practice. Once you have gained the practice of seeing Bhagavan in everything, then where have you to go? Prahlad kahan? You think that Prahlad went to any temple? Prahlad, you know the story of Prahlad. Where did he see Bhagavan? So he doesn't need to go anywhere. Kaha hai? He asked, where is your God? Where he is not, you tell me. So his mind has been tuned to that. His mind has been tuned to looking at the Lord in everything. So for Hiranyakashipu, it's hard to think. For Prahalad, his own son, where is God? Where is not he? I am able to see him in everything. So is it not so sulabha for him? Bhagavan says, I am not available. You are not available. I am everywhere, any place, and every place I am there. And you can see me. But abhyas hona chahiye. Tuning is necessary. So that's why he says here, Purushasya parapartha labhyah I am available so easily, bhaktya tu ananyaya labhyah. And again in the chapter, 11th chapter, it says, Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyah aham evam vidorjuna. Oh Arjun, what the way you are seeing me as the Vishwarupa is available. Jnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. To know, to see, and enter into me. Jnatum drashtum tatvena praveshtum cha. So, not only you know me, not only you can see me, you become me. Which scripture tell you? I mean, no other scripture will talk about this. That Bhagavan is available, but Bhagavan says, you enter into me. You become me. That is possible by devotion. Maicha ananya yokena bhakti avyavicharini vivikta desha sevitmam aradir jana samsadi. In this way, he even brings in as a value to be practiced that Ananya Bhakti is the one by which Bhagavan becomes Sulabha. Easy to get. So there is no other shortcut. There is no other way. Na Anya Panta Bhagavat Darshanaya. Ananya Chetas, Ananya Bhakti Reva. So this way, Krishna in Bhagavad-Gita explains what is Sulabha, what is very easy to obtain also. We saw these two in this session. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.